Good evening, everyone. It is a good Saturday to have the whole crew on the show tonight.
Let's
The
go.
whole
Yes, sir.
crew. I saw Chad in the comments before we even went live. So even Chad's here already up there in YouTube. Now he's on Facebook saying,
guy.
let's go.
We got that thing hot. Let's go.
That's got it hot. How's everybody doing tonight?
You're
Good.
doing good, man. Had a busy day today.
We making it work, man.
Oh, we got Jordan in here. Ashley's here. Almost everybody's here already. All right, y'all can go ahead and continue the talk that you were having before we went live.
Yeah, real quick, just to set the premise, right? As soon as we all got on, we're just a bunch of football haters. So immediately we went to debating, right? So we're talking about quarterbacks. My little headline here: give me CJ or give me death. DeMarco said, some people ain't gonna like that because you have a quarterback from this school, you can't have a quarterback from that school. So what we're talking about is there is 0 schools in the NCAA that consistently puts out elite quarterbacks.
Facts.
There's
NC State.
no QBU.
NC State.
Nailed it. All of them.
North Dakota State.
No, see, that's what, like Wentz
That's
and Lance.
2.
You know what I'm saying? Like
No, Wentz and Lance.
But did NC
Okay,
State have like
NFL
6?
caliber. We're talking elite caliber.
Time out.
right?
Time out. I can
Hey.
school you with Purdue. I mean,
So-
all day. Like
So before we
Drew Brees.
dive too
Curtis
deep
Painter.
into different schools, even though Trev is right, no schools constantly put them out. The whole point here is Colts fan base ain't choosing nobody. They are not going to
Right.
be happy with
Right.
anybody we choose at quarterback. So that's why I was like,
Kyle
that's
Orton.
upset.
And we ain't talking Kyle Orton right now.
I'll say this. The Pac-12 does not provide quarterbacks unless they're named John Elway
Justin
or
Herbert.
Andrew Luck or Justin Herbert.
Warren Moon,
Warren Moon wouldn't last. in
Sanchez,
today's NFL.
Carson Palmer.
Oh, boy, you just say
Davis
Carson
Mills.
Palmer?
Yeah, he's a Pac-12 quarterback. USC.
Yeah, but he's trash. I'm talking elite.
He played long
I'm
enough.
talking elite.
I feel
Carson
like
Palmer
he-
was an elite quarterback. Come
He
on.
was
the whole
elite.
point,
Carson
right?
Palmer
Till he
was
blew
not
his
an
knee
elite
out.
quarterback.
we ain't gotta call him elite, but he was a
He's
solid
not an elite
quarterback for
quarterback.
years.
Carson Palmer took the Cardinals to the NFC Championship like 2 years.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'd
I mean,
say
solid.
Carson
He was a good
Palmer-
quarterback.
Carson
Kurt Warner
Palmer
did
was
too.
legit.
I think the whole idea, right, is like in CJ's example, right, or people say about Justin Fields too. If you don't like him and you have like solid reason, like I don't like how he does this in the pocket, I don't like how he moves, cool. But you can't say I don't like him because Ohio State doesn't make NFL quarterbacks.
Exactly. That's
I mean,
the problem.
Yeah.
There's a
I
first
don't
time
like-
for everything. Michigan
I don't
didn't
like-
make NFL quarterbacks until they said the greatest of all time in the
Hold
sixth
on.
round.
But they didn't make him.
I know, but that's my point, right? Is like someone can come out of a school.
He's
and
saying
become greater at the
he's
NFL.
saying that they're a product from that school.
No, I don't know about that.
I mean, it's like LSU. The only thing consistently LSU turns out is DBs. Because
Not
up
back in the
until-
early 2000s. Not
up
back in the
until-
early
Up
2000s.
until OBJ and JJ, LSU was never known as a receiver school.
Whoa,
And now-
hey, hold on.
And
and
hold
now-
on. Hold on. Before
And now
that,
all of a sudden you got receivers coming out of LSU.
but before
all
that-
to
but-
right.
but before that, they were running backs.
Yeah.
The thing is these schools, the reason why you don't have a quarterback U or a wide receiver U or a DB U is because every so often they change what they're producing.
I agree.
I also think it's the nature of college football.
Yeah,
So
it changes.
So much now college football is spread you out and throw it all over the yard.
Right. I think
DeMarco's busy. That's why you can't see him.
I think it's easier too for like certain positions, like LSU right now. They're commonly seen as wide receiver U, DBU, right? Like we're pretty consistent with putting those guys out. Notre Dame is pretty good with like O line and tight ends. You know, like schools can have that with if they keep the same coaches, the same systems, they can produce talent much easier. But quarterback, being the most important position in football, being every quarterback is going to spin it differently. Like it's so much harder to consistently put out NFL quarterbacks like that, which is why I think there is no QBU. So hating on Ohio State quarterbacks doesn't make a ton of sense.
The reason why is because all the elite quarterbacks are hiding in Division II football.
You might be right.
Why?
Because they're from small town high schools, man. I truly believe, I'm not going to say elite, but I believe the quarterbacks with the most potential to develop are from the small schools.
Yeah, but
I like that
I feel
point.
that.
Develop.
I feel like
I'm not saying
college recruiting now is a joke, so that almost fails guys anymore.
well,
especially
college
with-
recruiting has always been a joke.
Especially with the whole NIL now and the transfer portal. I feel like if you're not an elite, truly like a 5-star guy, you're not going to get found.
Here's the thing.
No, that's not true.
Here's the thing. These quarterbacks, they get. Let's say these 5-star recruits out of high schools that are in Texas, California, and let's say Florida, right? The 3 main states that most colleges recruit in, and Georgia. They go to the big name schools like Bama, and they don't start till their junior, senior year.
Yeah, but
Right.
also I think a part what Zach's talking about is the public school recruiting system is just pretty much gone. It's
broken.
prep schools. It's prep
Yeah.
schools now. It's prep schools, academies, things you can go to,
Yeah.
be at developmental wise. I mean, public school I think still has a little bit of like I think basketball and baseball you still get a shot, but football wise, I mean these
If
guys
you-
got to start going to academies.
If you're not going to like
10,
a
11
Catholic
years old.
school or like an
Yeah.
IMG school, you're not getting looked at public school wise.
I promise you go.
I know
look
that
at-
from
yeah.
a fact in Indiana, just playing Indiana ball. Like your mid-major schools like Ball State and Muncie, where I'm at, they'll come and look at the guys
Again, but
who
that
aren't the upper tier guys. But if you're a solid prospect, like the people talk about like Terry McLaurin, he went to a parochial private school, and that's why he looked at by Ohio State.
that goes down to my point too. It's outside of those 3 big name states. California, Texas, Florida. You don't have to go to a private school in any of those states to get recruited out of college or get recruited out of high school. You don't need it. These dudes are getting recruited out of here, out of ghetto schools like in Oak Cliff and Highland Park. And Damon knows exactly what I'm talking about. There's dudes that are getting recruited out of Allen. And
I think
Frisco
those schools you
and
get things,
Prosper.
but go look at.
We'll see. The problem with that is the reason that some of those guys will go to the schools that they do and still be able to get recruited is the fact that everybody knows, just like you just said, Matt, that they're going to go to the big schools, right? So some of these smaller schools, they're going to go to schools that scouts aren't necessarily looking at and trying to find those guys that are coming out, and you see them end up being a 0-star prospect, a 1-star
Right.
prospect. You look at a J.J. Watt, Antonio Brown. These guys were 0 and 2-star prospects coming out of high school and
Public
college,
high schools.
and they end up at some small school and then end up transferring to a bigger school. So that's all one big problem in itself as well. But the same thing goes for even just like you just said, Matt, the guys that used to have to sit. I feel like NIL has fixed that problem because there's no more. I have to go sit at Alabama and wait for 3 years to wait for a guy to leave.
Right.
I can transfer year to year to year to try and find a school, but that's also a thing that coaches don't like.
And
Not
that's
anymore.
the thing I wanted to jump
No,
into.
no, they can.
this
Zach,
is-
Emory Jones
Is
Emory
it
Jones.
one
This
No,
is
one year though, and then you got to graduate, and then
No,
you
you can keep transferring. Emory Jones
Sure.
just left. He left in 2020 from Florida. He went to Arizona State, and now he's at Cincinnati.
this
For
is
real?
3 years
Yeah,
in a
the
row. he's
transfer
transferred.
this is
Okay.
what I think. This is what I think the playoffs is going to fix. If you're expanding the playoffs, because what do these players want to do? Ultimately, they want to win.
Right.
That's that.
You win games.
Yeah,
You're able to compete for playoff spots. You're able to
but
compete
it's
for
going to
championship
water it
games.
down.
That's
It
what I
doesn't
think
matter.
too.
Disagree.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's watered down. The point of college football is to get them to the NFL.
So we're going to have like March
No, no, no.
Madness.
So
60
yeah,
teams going to
that's
sit
pretty
here
much
and
what
be,
it.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Like,
much what it ended
no.
up with being like.
no.
You're gonna
It's,
see.
it's not going to water it down. It's not going to water it down. I'll tell you why. Because the guys that get recruited to these schools, right, and they end up stacking, like in Bama, they'll have like 4 guys back to back to back. They're all 5 stars, and that bottom guy is still a 5-star prospect, the best from his high school ever, right? And he's not going to play for 3 years. Now that guy can go to a mid-major school, a smaller school, and still have a shot at national championship. You're not going to see the effect right away.
Not even
Well, hold
just.
on. You're not going to see the effect right away, but give it 4 or 5 years. You're going to start seeing an 8 seed have a chance, a legitimate chance at a national championship.
But that's when you're gonna get your
regularly
flukes.
going there.
You're gonna get
What do
your
you mean?
flukes too. We're gonna get your like Cincinnati. You're gonna get your West Alabama
But you
State.
get that in the NFL. You get that in the NFL.
You're true. It's any given Sunday too, but I do think it could water it down. That's just my
TC water it
TCU
down.
could have been a fluke, but here's the thing: now that TCU made it, now they're
It's
going to be
gonna
able. It's going to help their recruiting because
Marketing,
someone-
yeah.
Hold on.
Marketing's gonna go up.
Hold on. Someone saw that TCU just made the national championship, a team that hasn't made it since what, the 30s.
And you have a chance there now.
Now you have a chance there because they made it. They're going to start next year higher ranked. So now prospects are going to want, these
think
high school
it'll-
prospects are going to want to go there.
Can I add this
I think
though?
it'll work
Can I add
if
this?
the teams aren't getting blown out in that championship game.
Can I
As
add
long
this
as they
though?
don't get blown out.
Well, I'm sorry,
Okay.
but Georgia's been building for the last 5 years.
Can I add this if I can? So,
Yeah.
and I guess I'll combine everything that we've talked about like over the last 5 minutes with the NIL too. What that's going to take, so you use TCU as an example. I think it's a great example because it's a smaller school and it's in DFW. It's going to take from a local level, you're going to need local companies, small businesses to provide the NIL love and the sponsorship deals. And I think being successful helps that. And that is what brings in recruiting classes now. That's how you're getting other schools that are bringing in these great athletes, is because the local sponsorships companies are able to front these NIL deals to these athletes. So I agree with you in that sense, because TCU has been such a big spot, and look at the marketing. They were just in the national championship. More companies are willing to invest. More players are willing to come there because there's more NIL money on the table. So that's what I think.
The problem is they still what's name. Some places don't have that money and they can't guarantee it though.
That is very true.
Just like
the
situation with Florida is we had a quarterback who came out, Rashada, damn it, I'm forgetting his last name.
The quarterback, right?
But yeah, the quarterback, and he ended up leaving because he was promised, I guess, a $500,000 NIL deal, and
was like 13 million.
No, it ended up being like 500,000, and it was supposed to add up a cumulum over the years, and it ended up not working out, and so he asked out of his NLI, and so that was just one of those things that happened where these sponsors may think they're going to have that money, and it's not necessarily something that's coming out in cash. And so it's also going to become a big deal where players are going to end up leaving for money or money that they don't get. So it'll be one of those things, but I think it definitely has leveled out the playing field a lot from bigger schools that can get better guys.
Now we also understand that it's not going to affect the smaller schools. There's a lot of smaller schools that are not
at a disadvantage.
I don't think it does at all. I don't think it really changes them. I think they're just going to stay put where they are.
It's either.
I think it's going to help. It's going to help these other teams that have never make it to the college football playoffs, mainly because of these damn votes that happen, man.
I think it's going to hurt the smaller schools because they can't offer NIL money, but at the same time, they're going to get all the transfers, the transfer kids, so they're going to have the ability to, build a program with older transfer players.
No, and now when you look at it in that aspect,
so it's giving them the opportunity to play in the college football playoff. But at the same time, there's a give and take to this. I think it really hurts your non-Power 5 schools. Besides the Big Ten and the SEC, who's always going to have that money due to TV deals. All the other conferences in football, in my opinion, are kind of on the outside looking in. Even the ACC, it's been around forever because
I would say not necessarily, because kids are still going to you only can have so many kids at one school.
Right.
So there'll still be that trickle down effect where it's okay, well, look at Alabama this past season. I want to say they just got 4 or 5 4-star and 5-star defensive tackles and defensive ends.
Yep.
They all went to Alabama. A lot of these guys are not going to play. They're going to be okay, where else can I go? Oh, wait, well, I'm not going to go to Florida because they just got TJ Searcy and they just got God damn it, forget my other guy's name. But another D tackle, and they're okay, well, they're loaded up there. So maybe let me go try Louisville.
I can go to Colorado with Coach Prime.
Yeah, exactly. So it's they're still going to find other schools to go to. So I don't think it's going to be watered down as people think it will be. I think we'll see a lot more flux of talent either going to bigger schools, and then you'll see a lot of the 3 and 4-star players that don't really get noticed go to other schools. And maybe their school might not be as talented as those big name schools, but they'll still be noticed to go to NFL teams.
Yeah, I agree.
That'll be
the overall talent will be better from across the nation if that's what we're talking about. Yeah, 100%. From West Coast to East Coast, the talent will be better. But if we're talking from a pure, in my opinion, from a pure football standpoint, dog eat dog, best man win. It's Big Ten, SEC, and everything else doesn't matter.
I think it's going to allow college football to be more competitive as a whole. That's it. I know some of these smaller schools are going to it's going to hurt them financially, but at the same time, as a whole, I think it's just going to make college football more enjoyable to watch. I'm that guy that I can't watch that much of college football because if I turn a game on and I see 62-0, or I see 62-3 or 62-7, whatever it is, which is the majority of these scores, I don't want to watch that game. That game's boring to me unless it's the Indianapolis Colts doing it to the New England Patriots. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to watch that on a Saturday. And it's hard. Like when I was growing up, when I was little, I was a Florida Gators fan. The only reason I was a Florida Gators fan was because it was the first football game I played on PlayStation when I was 8 years old. And I picked the Gators because I liked the colors. But then I grew up to like Penn State, and then I stopped. Like the Jerry Sandusky thing happened. So then ever since, I just don't have a college team. And it's hard to follow a college team because let's say I'm like, oh, I like Georgia because I do like Georgia, but I'm not going to be like, I'm a Georgia fan, if that makes sense.
I respect
I
it.
totally agree. That's why it's been tough for me to stick to college football for a while here, and I'm only getting more tied into it now just because I've started following more closely. Every teams are doing, but
I have like the opposite standpoint where I've been obsessed with college football for years. Like the NFL is the newer thing to me, I guess. I mean, I've followed the NFL for the past 10 whatever years, but college football has always been my thing, right? And now it's cool because like you get to see the guys that you watched in college and the guys you fanboyed over or whatever, and then they all go to these different things, like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. I get to watch those guys. I don't give a shit about those teams, right? But I get to watch like the Bengals and watch my old quarterback, my old wide receiver dot people up. Like it's cool when you get that fulfillment of like knowing those guys made it all the way.
I hate that because a lot of Gators went to the Patriots, so I always hated that, man.
Yep.
I had to watch that.
I grew up in Big Ten country, so like I've always seen it with like two running backs, a fullback, and tight ends and fat offensive linemen everywhere. So like to me, it hasn't changed, and I'm the exact opposite.
They were just guarding that meth, man. We know.
Right, I get it. I'm the exact opposite.
Death in cornfields, baby.
I grew up NFL football first before really college ball. I didn't get into college ball until like I went through the whole high school experience, and I saw my quarterback who ended up committing to Notre Dame and then going 100 different schools. Once I saw him go through that process, that's when I really got into college football, and I was all like, "Oh, that's cool."
It's a good football. Cold weather football.
I was always NFL, and then just this past year was probably the most college football I watched.
Oh, hi, Matt's mom.
This past year was probably the most college football I watched when I saw Max Duggan play that first game I watched, and I was just like, my God, I like this guy. I just watched him. Yeah, and I just watched him. That's me. When it comes to college football, I'll get hooked onto a player, and I'll just watch for that player. Yeah, I'll just watch for that player. That's it. I don't care about the team. I don't care about anything. I just want to see the player. That's it.
That's what I did with Timothy Tebow and my boy Johnny Manziel.
So, yeah, I used to watch in high school. I did watch West Virginia University, and the reason I watched when they had Pat White and Steve Slayton. So Steve Slayton's mom worked with my stepmom, and I actually played pickup football with him as a kid. And he was a good friend of mine and a friend of the family. So just watching him play, it was pretty awesome. And then I hated that he got drafted to the Texans. But yeah, I used to watch them and root for them all the time.
Yeah, see me, it was it started in when I wanted to choose a college to go to. I wanted to go to Florida. I wanted to go to the other side of the country and see what that
I wanted
was
to
like.
play for the Gators, yeah.
And I wanted to be a Gator. I was following everything, at least from when Tebow got there. And that was my school, man, and I just stuck with it ever since. It was my guys.
I remember watching them win the national championship with Chris Leak. Right, the same year we won the Super Bowl. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, too bad they stink now.
I'm a Hurricane fan.
What?
I like how Miami.
too.
I like how
Me
Miami.
too.
I like what Miami produces. I'm not gonna lie. I like what Miami produces. They produce some secret talent.
I was a little kid when I saw them lose, end quote, to the Ohio State on that fake PI that wasn't real, but it is what it is. But since then,
the year that they were, what was that? They beat Florida State, literally beat Florida State, and they took Florida State and that back in the BCS point system. Whenever they used that, Miami was undefeated, beat Florida State, and they made Florida State the national champs. Explain that to me.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's my whole life. Hurricane football is what it's about.
I think that was one of the major points as to why when I was younger I didn't watch college football.
It was
I think that was
weird.
part of the reason why I didn't get into it was because I was like, you don't even play a national championship game. It just you get announced as national champions after all the games are over, and it was dumb.
The BCS era was terrible. I think they've got it right now, and I think they're only getting it better with the expanded playoff.
Didn't Utah end up winning a national championship in 04 from that
No,
too? Or they
no.
didn't? Or 04, 05 with Alex Smith? Did they ever get counted for that? Because I know they claim it. They claim it as a national championship at Utah.
I don't know, but I know that we're looking at a Utah quarterback, and I'm not happy about it.
Utah State, bro.
The one
Utah
time I wasn't
State.
being sarcastic. Yeah.
Bro, I thought you were being so sarcastic until I
Yeah,
saw it on
man.
Twitter, and I was like, my goodness, this is terrible. But hey, we're meeting with Will Levis, DeMarco's favorite. Hey, we got a lot of comments going on.
Yeah, I was
here.
just about to say. So Jordan had a comment here. He said,
How far you want me to go
up? Just a Jordan Kibbe's comment right under the right there about I've got some stories I've read which made me look into a scenario. I believe he's talking about for our quarterback situation. Jordan, you still got to talk to Matt and chop it up so we can get you as a guest on the show at some point.
Yeah,
And then
for sure.
Ashley has the next comment here. And this is pretty much what we've been talking about is why is everyone –
Put it back up there. What are you doing? You took it down.
I clicked it twice.
There you go.
So it said, well, why is everybody
Rookie.
worried about drafting an OSU QB? Look at Justin Fields on the Bears. So actually,
Yeah,
that's
man.
actually the prime example of why people don't look at quarterbacks from OSU. So as far as they said that Justin Fields couldn't really diagnose defenses, and he was just really athletic, and that's what really got him to that point in that position. Then you go back and you look at other real quick, Matt. Guys like Dwayne Haskins who weren't really successful in the NFL, and then you just keep going through the Ohio State lineage of quarterbacks who came into the NFL and haven't had success, and people just they take any little slice of fear and they turn it into this big thing on social media, and that's the problem we have with our platforms. Go ahead, Matt. You want to chime in on that one?
I'll say two things to answer what he just said. One, I like Justin Fields.
Yes.
Absolutely love Justin Fields. I think that dude is the only reason that Chicago has been afloat. Two,
Absolutely.
Dwayne Haskins had all the potential but went to Washington.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I liked Dwayne Haskins coming out of college. A lot of these Ohio State guys just didn't get, they didn't get the cards that they should have gotten. They went to places that they shouldn't have gone. Chicago is not a place for quarterbacks.
See,
Washington is not a place for quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Yep,
that
I
brings
got
me
you,
to
Zach.
a,
Hold on. Zach
yeah,
first.
yeah, I
Zach
was
first.
gonna say, go ahead.
that's where I disagree. Like,
Oh,
I think. I agree with Justin Fields, but I actually thought like if Justin Fields went to any other team except Chicago, he would be way better off.
You'd be
Yeah,
higher up.
people
I
are
agree.
pretty pissed that he didn't go to New England instead of
Yeah.
Mac Jones.
Yeah,
did I say the opposite? Because I
no,
definitely, that's
no.
definitely
I'm reiterating.
okay.
Like Chicago
No, he was
is
just
the,
pointing out like the same thing, just a little different.
right. Chicago is in my opinion, was the worst place he could go. Like the worst hand he was dealt.
Facts.
And you see what he's done there. He literally, I know
He
they won
still
3
ran for
games.
1,000.
Yeah, I know they won 3 games, but like even the games they lost by like 6, less than 10 points half the time.
Facts. With
So-
not a great defense.
Right.
Yeah.
They got that
So-
Eberflus defense over there, and it's not that good.
So
Well, they also have no talent over there. Like
Right.
there's no big
Right.
name players in
got
Chicago. Other than
Right.
DJ Moore now.
Well, hold on. Yeah. Not anymore. I mean, they got.
I mean, yeah,
talent.
they're doing it now, but it's easy to do when you have all this cap space because you don't pay anybody and all the draft picks because you suck.
Well, see, they kind of did it the right way as far as this year building around him.
Yeah.
But last year, they kind of like threw it at him like, hey, we want you to
100%.
prove you can be this guy instead of just providing him with the weapons first before saying
Yeah.
that.
right.
And it's like, if
And
you
I
look at
think
like
he
the
did.
situation, look at the situation last year with Jalen Hurts. So not this past year
Sure.
Super Bowl run, but the year before. They said, Jalen Hurts, you're going to be our guy. Take us there. But we're going to give you an offensive line that can at least protect you to be able to show us what you can do.
Bare
Right.
bones.
The case with Justin Fields was they just said, hey, go play with DeMarco, Matt, Trev, and Damon being your offensive line, and everybody in the comments is your wide receivers. and go see what you can do.
He
Justin
still
Fields.
ran for 1,000.
Exactly. So that's pretty much how they
Yeah.
treated him. I did want to say real quick, there was a quote that somebody had said that 90% of quarterbacks that are drafted into the NFL are failed rather than developed. And that
Sure.
is
That's
what
facts.
happens 90% of the time is when we take guys, they just throw them out to the wolves, and they never get developed, and they fail.
I agree. I just, man, I hate when players go to certain teams. Like, here's the thing: no matter who goes to Houston, I don't know how well they're going to be developed. And the only reason, I mean, what's his name? D'Amico
D'Amico.
Ryans.
Yeah.
D'Amico Ryans.
I feel like they're
I wish
turning
I was
corner.
the head coach over there.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, a head coach as a defensive coordinator should not be drafting a quarterback first, right? That's just my opinion. When you go to hire a head coach and your offense is your struggle, you need to go get an offensive coach. Like, we are in a prime position with Shane,
Agreed.
and Shane is an offensive minded guy. So the head coach is going to focus on the offense. They're going to develop that quarterback. D'Amico is going to draft whoever, and it's going to be whoever his offensive coordinator is. Somebody out here might know. They are going to be the ones that are going to be focusing development on that quarterback, which is going to lack.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
And to prove a point that you make there, anytime that you see a defensive coach successful as a head coach, is usually when a veteran quarterback is in the equation. You think about Denver with Peyton Manning. You think about Atlanta with Dan Quinn. Anytime you see those defensive coaches usually succeed, it's because they already have a baller offense to go off of. So I really do agree with you. And not to kind of backtrack here, but back to the Ohio State point, I think there's maybe a level of rawness that's into the equation as well with these guys coming out from Ohio State. And that could be in the developmental aspect of Ohio State as well. But that's not to take away from the player. I think it has to do with the development in general. DeMarco brought up as well. You saw Joe Burrow transfer. I think Justin Fields came out really raw. I think he could maybe even stayed another year if he needed to, because we didn't see the best of Justin Fields passing until the back half of that season. We start playing those bowl games. He got banged up, started throwing the ball down the field a little bit. So I could get that argument there, but I
how
think
much of that is the Urban Meyer option offense?
That's what I'm trying to add, though. That's what I'm trying to add in there too. It's a product, product of the environment as well.
Tebow starred in that offense. Just want to say that.
Oh,
Trevor Lawrence was terrible in it.
Well, it's because
that
was at a pro level.
It's just like what Shane Steichen said. You need to build your system around your guy. You can't sit there and keep trying to make your guy fit your system. And I think that was the problem that we see with a lot of guys, whether they be NFL or college. It's too many times it's like, hey, this is my system. This is what I want you to fit in, instead of an offensive coordinator expanding their mind to fit any quarterback that they're going to find, because different skill sets can win you plenty of games.
Yeah. And
For example, Andrew Luck in the Indianapolis Colts. If you watched him in Stanford, the way he played in Stanford was not the way he played in Indy. He was forced to play that way in Indy. He didn't play that way in Stanford. Not at all. I remember going back and watching him in Stanford, and he did not play that way at all.
And Zach, they had a really old school offense there in Stanford, didn't they? They ran the ball up. They ran
they did exactly exactly what Jim Harbaugh does in Michigan now. I formation, 2 tight ends, a fullback, heavy play action,
banana routes.
Run the ball on the first 2 downs, play action pass on 3rd down, and then punt. Like,
was this Frank Reich?
Yes.
No, that's
replace the play action with a screen.
That's the system that Aaron Rodgers will look like with the Jets this year. It's like, hey, we're going to put an elite quarterback in this simple system and run that.
Yeah,
that's what they did at Stanford. Everything he brought to the NFL with Kaepernick, Luck didn't do any of that when he went to Stanford. When he was at Stanford, like, I do believe if the Colts used Luck like Kaepernick, he probably would have been more successful. But at the same time, I feel like Luck was set up to fail because his first offensive coordinator was Bruce Arians. And if you know anything about Bruce Arians' offense, it is every pass is a 7-step drop, and it's all from shotgun. When you have a terrible offensive line and no run game, that's why he gets killed.
Yeah. I want to backtrack for just a sec, because we were talking about making the system fit the quarterback rather than the quarterback fit the system. Bro, the best example of this, in my opinion, is what freaking Baltimore did for Lamar Jackson, right? If they didn't build it around him, if they said, hey, Lamar, you're going to be Joe Flacco, and you're going to play the same fucking way that Joe Flacco did, he wouldn't have made it 2 years in the NFL. But because they let him be himself, that's why he's been the MVP. That's why he's been a dog.
Yeah, but that's why they're not going to pay him. because they built that system around him, and now he's got injuries because of it, and they're cheap and they don't want to pay him.
But I don't know if that
I mean-
system necessarily was in the sex. I don't know if that system allowed him to succeed either at the
It's a
same
little
time.
confused on where you're trying to go with that.
I mean, they didn't put
It did not allow him to succeed.
they didn't put weapons around him, but at the
That
same time,
system
like
forced him to be a runner and then try to be a passer rather than be a passer and try to run.
Yeah, that's my exact point. I guess I was trying to make too, Marco. I agree with you 100%. And Greg Roman, I think was idolized really well for that first season, but after that, or first and second season, because first season they got beat up pretty bad by Philip. I think Philip Rivers, right, in the Chargers that first round. But that second season is when he hit his MVP season, and post that point, I mean, it's just the tight end dumps, the triple option at times. So. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's why I think Lamar could even succeed in any system. That's just my opinion.
I was just about to say that the credit that was given to Greg Roman should have been given to Lamar Jackson, because that showed his development as a passer. Because if you look at his stats each and every season, he got better, but their system stayed stagnant. And all the success that was attributed to Greg Roman was really just Lamar Jackson being that good.
yeah.
So I want to comment on that too, because all Baltimore did was take away Lamar's weapons.
That's exactly my
That's
point.
all they did. They didn't
other
build
than a
around
tight end, what did they
Lamar.
give him?
They gave him
No.
nothing.
They gave him a
That's
tight
right.
end, and they tried to act like they added Marquise Brown and some older weapons.
Hollywood Brown is a stud.
I mean, he's a
Is
stud,
he?
but he didn't fit what Greg Roman was trying to do in the passing game.
But
He
you
didn't
weren't
fit.
using. I mean,
He's
it's,
a
It's like
it's
it's like
still
it was
a
like
weapon, though.
yeah,
It's
no,
still
he
a
is.
weapon.
He is, but like it's like playing Madden and you just run go routes
right.
80% of the game. Eventually, the computer's just gonna pick your shit off. It's like you can't just sit here and run a guy on go routes. Like run him some slants, give him some deep posts, give him some like some out routes, give him something. Like their route tree was not expansive at all.
It wasn't. And go
for their. Yeah, go ahead,
Go ahead.
Damon.
Well, and if you go watch the Lamar highlights, if you watch any ball that he did launch deep, that guy was open 20 to 30 yards because defenses are lined up to protect the line of scrimmage and 5 to 10 yards out for an option. So you go watch these plays whenever Lamar actually laid the ball out there, and Rashad Bateman is 30 yards open. Crochet, 30 yards open. None of these balls are contested because they're just simply protecting the line of scrimmage. So I don't think Lamar was set up to succeed at all.
Yep, that offense was Lamar, and they didn't treat him as a passer.
But I want to respond to this one where Chad says, but we can't afford Lamar Jackson. And I don't think you're correct on that one at all, because Lamar Jackson has put out there that he's not asking for guaranteed money.
Mm-hmm.
He's asking for what he's worth, which is more than, to me, 3 years and 133 mil. So whatever they offered him is crap. He's worth more than that. He's worth more than that.
Way more.
And to me, you can offer him a contract where, hey, this year, man, we need to kind of keep it a little low. But as the years go on, you're going to get paid more. You're going to get paid more. And in the long run, you're going to make your 200, your 220, your 240, or whatever you want to make. But this year, you're not going to make the big chunk of it, because we got to prepare to build around you to make this team a Super Bowl contender. If you know how to pitch it, you can make it work.
And exactly, and we gotta be honest. Like players know to be honest with themselves for a market. It's just like the Odell Beckham thing, where people were talking about he was asking for $20 million a year. Even if he did ask for it, it doesn't matter. He's just putting a number out there to see what teams are offering him. And if you're gonna offer him $4 million, he's gonna tell you, yeah, okay, I didn't think 20 mil might have been my market. I'm gonna put it out there to see who will accept it. And if not, I'm gonna gauge my market and see where it's at. But I know $4 million is not what I'm willing to accept. The same thing with Lamar Jackson. And if you give Lamar Jackson a number, just like Chad said there, but isn't he tagged and Baltimore can match it, right? Like you throw out that number. The problem with teams is when they throw out that number, they're cash strapped to him until Baltimore matches, or for the next, I want to say 5 days, I believe it was, until a deal is made.
Here's the thing with that too, though. But Lamar has made it known that he's not going to play in Baltimore.
He
does have a choice, just like Deshaun Watson had a choice, just like any other guy who sits until they leave. Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, all those guys who had sat until they left. He has that choice.
Yeah, but no player.
And now they're paying Lamar. Yes, they did. Lamar Jackson can sit all season and get paid 32 mil.
Did he sign the tag though?
No,
You gotta
You
sign
don't
it.
sign this one. You don't sign this one. It's a non-exclusive tag.
yeah.
He's on the tag.
I mean,
And he will make 32 mil whether he plays or sits. And he had made it known he does not want to play for Baltimore.
No,
So
they
if I'm
take that money
Baltimore,
still. They take that money still. If he doesn't play, they take that money still. It's a new rule inside the NFL. The agreement that they made that if he doesn't play, they take that money and it doesn't get back to them like it used to with the old rules.
so if he leaves, they still keep they still have to give that 32 mil becomes dead cap.
correct.
Yes,
That's
Yeah.
right, Marco. Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
So
so
he
but
either-
it's still
he
but
either has to play or has to leave.
But still, that's all on him. I mean, even though they gave him the non-exclusive tag, he still holds all the cards. He still has the advantage because he's ultimately the talent.
Yeah, exactly. Unless they match, and they can choose to match because what their
And if they
GM
do, then
said
he
is
can
that-
sit.
Yeah, their GM said that they don't know if what he's asking for was an anomaly for what Deshaun Watson got, or is that where this is trending? And that's why they put the exclusive tag to see if another team will basically do the work for them and get a deal done. They can match or not.
This is wrong, Chad.
I thought it was 133 total.
Only offered him 133. They didn't
Yeah.
offer him 250. They offered him 3 years, 133 mil. I believe that was like 40 mil.
No, fully guaranteed.
So
yeah,
so
fully
it was
guaranteed, but it was 40 mil a year.
no, it was 175, 133 guaranteed fully
Oh, there it was.
is what the deal was. But he was like 3 years, 133 million guaranteed. That's not what he's
Yeah.
looking.
No. He wasn't offered 250. If he
He
was offered
wants-
250, he would have resigned.
Exactly. He wants long-term stability and guarantee. That's what Lamar's looking for.
I mean, professional sports front offices are by far the best financial professionals in the world. They can find a way to make a contract work in any sport. So I would never say that if you can't afford them, you can't afford them. But
Facts.
the
What people
Colts
don't
can
realize-
afford them.
What people don't realize is these general managers and that side of things, they are not the ones that are like, all right, we're going to offer you this amount on this amount of years.
Completely different guy.
They have a whole financial department that's like, hey, we can afford this. Send him this. See what he says about this, and then they'll be like, no, we need to renegotiate. So then the GM's like, hey, well, they want to renegotiate, and then another guy is like, oh, well, let me do the numbers.
Yeah, and a good thing to watch for that, guys, if y'all are interested in anything like that, go watch with the next pick last year. I think the second episode, when they talk about that, you actually get to meet the guy who does that for the Colts, and you get to see that whole team, and Chris and him negotiating as well as to like what exactly the Colts can do. So when it comes down to it, Chris is not even involved in the cap at all. It's really just a whole separate team in finance that lets him know, hey, this is what you get this year. This is what you get out of it. If you want to wiggle a little bit, we can do this too.
Correct, because general managers are they're not there to be financial Mongols or whatever, right? They didn't go to school for finance. They went to school, or they were developed as a player evaluator. That is what a general manager is. The guy is as equipped to know football as a head coach. That's what a general manager is. They've either coached, they've played, whatever. They know the football. They know the game just as well as the head coach. And their whole job is to find the people for it, not do the financial part of it. So when people are like, oh, well, that GM just overpaid him. No, he didn't. He went off of what his whole financial crew had offered.
And if I'm not mistaken, front office reports directly to the owner. So I guess, and the person who's in charge of that for the Colts is Kalen, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken. So they report directly to Kalen.
They get the approval to offer that money before they even do that.
Yep.
Yeah, and
real
they do,
quick here,
and it's a
Jordan,
whole
you
thing.
said,
It's like a whole thing too. It's not just like, oh, let's pay this guy this because we have it. It's a whole. They have a whole algorithm that they use on value and need and on all that type of shit.
Yep.
It's crazy. Like whatever they do, it's way above my head. Sorry,
Never
Marco.
mind.
Go ahead.
Never mind. I figured it out. I saw it in here in the comments. Jordan and Chad were basically having a conversation about what Baltimore would get for compensation for Lamar, and they were having a conversation. I saw the comment they don't get both. That's where I was lost at, but I caught up to it. But yeah, I mean, like Jordan said right there in the last comment here, he says losing 2 first-round picks for an MVP is especially because we want him. We want to use that first this year on a QB. Like it pretty much that just sums it up itself. Like you get an MVP player, you don't have to worry about him coming off of missed season, missed time, anything like that, and you get a proven star.
I'll put it like this. We trade 2 first rounds. We trade this year's first round. We trade next year's first round.
Yep.
I'm going to say even if we drafted our quarterback, and let's say that quarterback was successful, let's say, and I'm going to use Will Levis as an example because I just want to get under DeMarco's skin. Let's say Will Levis gets us to the playoffs. Chris Ballard feels successful. It's about a 98% chance that Chris Ballard's going to trade out of the first round next year anyway.
I mean, he wins 7 games. Chris Ballard is successful.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying, though? Either way, if Chris Ballard feels comfortable with who's at quarterback, what's he going to do? He's going to trade out of the first round. That's what he's going to do. He's going to gather more picks. He's going to pick more guys up later on in the draft. So what if you grab an MVP quarterback with the first round pick this year and next year? Now you ain't got to worry about all that.
And an offensive guru who just had the NFL leading the league in rushing touchdowns, and he got Jonathan Taylor. And y'all know how I feel about it. I think we need to go grab a second back. Just my opinion. It's another story for another day. Another story for another day. Zach Moss used garbage time yards, but
I wouldn't say that.
My opinion, but
he kept the run game going when JT was out. I mean, it wasn't what JT would put up, but
I mean,
yeah,
JT's generational.
Yeah, JT is the Andrew Luck of running backs.
Exactly, Jordan. I mean, imagine being an opposing defense and you're lined up against Jonathan Taylor and Lamar Jackson. Both those guys can go for 5 to 10 yards a carry.
That's a hell of a running back field.
And then all MPJ has to do is run slants all day. That's it.
And I know this is so far-fetched and Madden-like, and I hate to even throw out a fantasy like this, but we grab a guy like a Jahmyr Gibbs, and now you got the option for a triple option, and you got capable tight ends. I mean, I know it doesn't sound realistic, but it very much is a realistic option at that point. But, yeah, and I just want to kind of, I guess, Matt and DeMarco, we kind of talked about this 2 episodes ago, compensation for Lamar. It does not have to be 2 first-round picks. It has to be a compensation that's agreed upon with 2 teams, but the minimum, if an agreement cannot be made, is 2 first-round picks, correct?
Either way, that's a steal. Yeah.
Either
way, that's a steal.
So we could say, hey, you get our 4th into DeForest Buckner. I'm just saying Buckner. I know we're not trading him. We don't want to. But hear me out. I'm just saying, for example, we could say first, I'll throw someone different out there. First round,
Shaq Leonard.
First one is Shaq Leonard, and they can go, okay, this works for us. So we send that, and then it's a sign and trade because we would also negotiate a contract in the process of the exchange. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is why I would be all for just being like, hey, you give us 2 first, we'll take Lamar Jackson. I feel like that's a damn steal. It's crazy the fact that
it is a steal. Instead of giving them
would even think to let this situation come to this.
Yeah.
Instead of giving them a first and DeForest or Shaq, I'd rather just give them the 2 firsts, to be completely honest.
Exactly.
Because at that point,
when you compare to a Deshaun Watson or a Russell Wilson, where you're giving up 5 picks and like a player or 2, it's like we get them for 2 first and we just pay them. Like that's insane.
Instead of trading, DeForest or Shaq, who are proven talents should have went first round, which DeForest we can count as a first round pick for us. And Shaq, who went in the second, who played as a first, defensive rookie of the year. I'd rather just trade that first than lose those 2 guys. That's just me.
Yeah. Ashley, go ahead, Matt.
No, you're good.
Ashley, Chris Rodriguez Jr. would not work. He's a downhill back who lacks any sort of agility. That guy is a to B runner. He'll run you over in a heartbeat.
Isn't that the guy that ran the 4.3?
No, he's Kentucky.
He's from Kentucky.
He's from Kentucky. He was a guy he's a guy that bailed Will Levis out of 3rd down scenarios. That's what he was.
Yeah, that's the guy that ran the 4.3.
No, Chris Rodriguez not run. I don't think he ran a 4.3, bro. If he did, I humbly apologize. But
I'm almost positive that's the dude.
he was hurt the first because he was supposed to be the best running back in college football, or was potential to this last year, and he ended up getting hurt. I don't think he ended up coming back to like third or fourth week down the road. He ran a 4.3.
Blown out versus Tennessee.
Yeah, he ran a. Okay, he must have ran a 4.3 because actually said it.
No, he ran a. Looks like there's some confusion here. It was a 4.4 and a 4.5. Okay, never mind. I thought somebody said 4.3. I thought I heard.
Charbonnet would be a good one, Jordan. That guy's
from Michigan, UCLA.
Yeah. UCLA, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't Michigan transferred to UCLA?
Yeah, transferred.
Yeah.
That dude's brawl. Of course, that's against Pac-12 defenses, and they're paper thin at front seven. So
right.
But
I mean, all in all, whatever the direction Indianapolis takes, whether it's Lamar, whether it's everyone's least favorite quarterback in the draft, Will, or if it's, Bryce Young or CJ, I feel like the plan is, to build the team properly. I do think drafting a running back is a waste. Like there's no need, no sense. But
I'll even bring this one up because I'm all right with this idea. And I said it earlier. Nobody responded, probably because it was like 4:30 in the morning on a Saturday. Sorry, I was in the gym.
Yeah, why are you up that early on Saturday?
Zach, you and Matt both 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Dude, I'm up like Monday through Friday.
I'll be like, God damn! I'll be like, a couple text messages I got. I missed the whole conversation,
bro.
Left out.
So hold on. Monday through Friday, I wake up at 3 a.m. and go to the gym.
Same.
On Saturday, I sleep in an hour and a half. Yeah. On Saturday, I wake up at 4:30 and I go to the gym.
That's why me and Zach don't play Xbox anymore, or Matt don't play Xbox anymore. He goes, bro, we played till midnight, and I had to wake up at 7 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday, and I was like, sorry.
If you want to get some Call of Duty tonight, we can get some Call of Duty tonight. That's up to you, bro.
Well, go ahead. What you were saying, though.
Yeah, okay. You don't want no Call of Duty then. All right, I got you.
We'll be on.
Okay. So I don't have no gym on Sundays. It's my rest day. But I said it this morning. What's his name? Peter
Skoronski.
Dog, he's trash.
What?
From Northwestern, he's a guard.
You're high.
Dude, there's no way he's playing tackle.
He's not a guard.
He's playing tackle in the league.
He's not a guard.
Hold on, Zach. So you're telling me you're against every scout, every pro analyst, everybody who has rated this guy as the best offensive lineman in this draft.
That Slater dude was better than him, 100%.
No, hold on. You can't go back and say Slater. I'm talking about this year in the draft.
Oh.
He's rated as the best offensive lineman this year. He's rated higher than Osiris Torrance.
Yeah,
you're saying no? He's
that kid the kid from Ohio State's better.
Listen, I go to the gym when I first wake up. I go to the gym and I watch videos and I watch football on the toilet before I go work out.
You talking drafted Skoronski at 4? He's down.
This dude, every clip I've seen was him at left tackle, and not one person was getting past him. Not one.
Northwestern's so trash, it's hard to find any quality.
I don't care. The man
but are you saying the Northwestern is trash, or are you saying Skoronski is trash?
Yeah, there's a difference.
I don't think Skoronski's as good as the Slater kid was who came out of Northwestern last year.
That's fair. I agree. That part is fair. But you said no, he's a guard and he's trash.
I think he's a guard.
Trying to clarify.
I don't think his arms are long enough to play tackle in the league.
I'm just saying this. I'm all right with taking him at number 4 and going ahead and grabbing one of these later quarterbacks.
I'm fine with that.
Hooker, Duggan. Duggan should be number 1 for me. It's gonna be number 1 for me. No matter where he goes, I'm getting his jersey.
Stetson Bennett.
Nope. Yeah, I'd get him too. I don't care. His combine was good. He was a good quarterback. He's just old.
Jordan Kidney.
And just like y'all have argued against me before, I've argued against it numerous times. But here's the thing. These 25-year-old quarterbacks are going to play till they're 40 to 45 anyway. So we can still get 15 years out of them, 10, 15, 20 years, whatever.
Right.
So if they're that good, if we get that left tackle to guard that blind side, that guy's going to play 15, 20 years. Because I'm sorry. When I was watching Peter, I was like, my God, he's blocking. Never mind. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. But
so what's
he's a stud. That dude is probably one of the best left tackles I've seen in a long time.
I think that kid from Ohio State's better.
Hold on. What's up?
I
Go ahead.
You still quarterback at 4.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, and I agree. I'm just saying, if we
I would
went
cry
that route,
myself to sleep on Thursday, and I probably wouldn't watch no more of the
I'm
draft.
just saying, if
We go off
we
the tackle and we don't take no quarterback in the first round.
if that was the
over.
guy we went, I'd go that way.
Okay.
100%.
So what about we go get my boy in the draft, Will Anderson at 4? What if he's there? What if
Jordan says you sprint that pick up at 4?
Hell yeah, I'm
Yeah,
taking Jordan Anderson over any quarterback in this draft.
But here's
Will
my
Anderson.
thing, and the only reason I'm okay with not taking a quarterback at 4 is because we're taking a guy to protect a quarterback at 4.
To me, I've said
I
this
know,
before.
DeMarco, I know.
All these
I know what you mean.
quarterbacks are
I feel it.
insane.
I feel it. I'm just saying, what is one of our defense was top 5 until they got exhausted halfway through the season. Our biggest needs are on offense, whether it's the offensive line, whether it's the quarterback, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't agree. I mean, I don't disagree with you guys there. It's just
me. I can see that I'm alone. I can see all your faces.
No, you're not alone because Jordan has also said Will Anderson at 4 if he's there.
Y'all know my opinion.
At that position.
Y'all know what I brought up.
When I start thinking that we're not taking a quarterback being this high in the draft, my palms and my feet start sweating.
Yeah, but you can trade.
It's just like if we stress the fact that we don't get a quarterback and we sit here and go all year and we got to watch Gardner Minshew and we got to watch Nick Foles.
No, don't hate on Minshew Magic.
I'm not trying to hate, bro. But we've been spoiled with quarterbacks watching Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck, and we got to sit here and keep going on with the idea that we had a chance at a I guess I can't say legit quarterback, top talented quarterback in that top 4, and we passed on it for whoever.
Listen, as of today, it's looking like if we take a quarterback top 4, it's going to be Will Levis. So I hope you brace yourself because you're the person on this show that hates him the most. Me and you, we got into it.
We did the other day. We did. But I guarantee. I promise you guys this. Look, if you took a thermometer and put it to my neck, and you named any quarterback we were taking at number 4, my temperature would drop. As soon as you name any other position, my temperature is going to. You're gonna tell me to go to the hospital.
So
I'm telling you, I just
an idea.
I don't know, man.
Because I don't think necessarily that this is something I believe Ballard would do. I think he would take top talent in the draft. So, for argument's sake, he takes Skoronski at 4 or Will Anderson at 4. I could very well see Ballard trading up into the 20s, into the last couple picks of the first round, and taking a flyer on a guy like Duggan or a flyer on a guy like McKee to get that 5th-year option, and to it's just an example, and to see if they're actually worth a hill of beans or not, and develop them properly. Because to me, outside of CJ, all the rest of the QBs are mid as hell. Like, you have Bryce Young, who isn't really accurate. Will Levis has a cannon, and Richardson is Will Levis. So they're the same quarterback. I mean, Richardson has better pocket movement, if I have to give everyone a positive. But that's something I could really possibly see. Ballard always going BPA and then trading back into the later half of the first round and actually getting the quarterback that he wants, so he can have that 5th-year option if he's worth it or not.
I'm gonna make it a point right now. Zach has gotten a lot of hate comments today in the comment section.
I don't care.
Jordan, I don't think he was calling Bryce mid. I think he was saying after CJ or Bryce.
No, like CJ Stroud's the best quarterback in the draft, and Bryce Young
100%.
is elite accuracy, but other than that, he's mid. He's tiny. He's fucking mid.
Max Duggan is the best quarterback in the draft. I don't care what anybody says.
If Hendon Hurker doesn't get hurt, he's going number 1 overall. Can't change my mind about it.
I agree with that, Damon.
Hey,
Cannot change my mind about it.
You guys know how you do, how you make sure we prevent all of this bullshit? We go ahead and do our do-over.
Let's go.
Boom, let's go.
Good.
Now we're
My
gonna
te-
head
my-
back.
Help me drop my temperature. Help me get back down to normal human temperature.
Jordan, we're on the same page about a lot of stuff, my friend.
So right
Oh,
now, guys,
gosh.
we're gonna go ahead and do the segment of our draft day that we planned on doing, which is our 2020 draft do-over. And the reason we're doing this do-over is because we think that we could have solved this quarterback issue in 2020. But what the rules are, we have to keep it to where we had never seen these players play in the NFL.
Hmm?
We need to keep it 2020 hindsight.
Oh, you guys are gonna hate me then.
Oh
Okay.
God damn it! So wait, we got to think back to their college days without the NFL.
I gotta add this though.
Ugh.
Honestly though, I thought Okuda was damn near the best player in the draft that season. He
No.
looked good.
Tua Tagovailoa was the truth coming out. Like
Yeah.
Tua was
Yeah.
But
But then he
here's
had
the
the
other
hip. He had the hip
here's
surgery.
here's the other thing. We had already traded for DeForest Buckner, so the only we don't start picking until the second round.
Nope. Yep.
So our first pick might change when we picked MPJ. It could potentially be somebody else.
it want me to give you a hint because it changed for me.
It changed for me too. And
I
no,
did
I'm
it. I
not
did
gonna
it.
give it.
Let's wait.
I did it twice.
Let's wait. You guys ready? Let's have fun with this. I don't know how to work this one. It's a little different, so I'm just gonna hit play. Tua went first. Kinlaw still went to the Niners.
Yeah. So
Justin Jefferson went to the Eagles.
Trevon Diggs went to the Saints.
Bryce Young was not
Oh.
drafted.
hell yeah.
We have a
Reject
trade
that.
offer.
we got a trade offer.
We have a
Reject
trade
that
offer.
shit.
Hold on,
Reject that shit.
Whoa, wait. Let me review it real quick. I can't see.
Give me Jordan Love.
Trade-
Reject that shit.
For the third.
Oh, but dude,
Nah,
to be
reject
fair,
that offer
Zach-
is trash.
Zach, to be fair though, to Jordan Love, they were asking him how much he liked Elmo's steakhouse.
Now here's the thing. Now here's the
Give me
thing.
Jordan Love
That offer is trash.
or Del Pitt. One of those
Great.
two.
my boy Grant Delpit.
Oh.
So me, I still went JT in this situation.
But JT
my
wasn't
first
drafted
pick-
here.
No, I know he wasn't drafted here, but I was just saying I went JT with our first pick, but then I did two. So my quarterback, what I end up swapping was instead of taking JT with the 51st pick, I took Tua the first time, and then I took Jalen Hurts the second time.
Yeah, I'm going Jordan Love here. Just because every time I've done it,
Hell no,
I'm either
he
taking
is not going Jordan Love.
I'm either taking Gladney or I'm taking Del Pitt. So,
Oh hell no.
but for the sake of the podcast and massive trolling, I want Jordan Love.
Hell no.
Can we filter by quarterback? What in
Yeah, you can filter by it. You click on it and it'll give you.
So look,
player list.
let's not make this complicated, and let's go the Chris Ballard route, or not the Chris Ballard route, but let's avoid the Chris Ballard route, and let's not patch QB. You know, we need to find our long-term solution. We're gonna have Uncle Phil at quarterback. Let's get a guy for him to mentor right now.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
just get that solved.
Let's take Jordan Love.
In my opinion, let's take quarterback, not Jordan Love, because the guy has barely played any football. He was at Utah. The competition was not great,
Here's our
and I think we got some
oh
good
my
options.
God.
And so let's look at this kid
It
Eason. Right?
hurts is there
He
to
got
trade down.
This guy Eason has this big arm, but he wasn't really that great, you know.
But hold on, Anthony Gordon. He led the league in
63 touchdowns that
Wait,
season.
Yeah.
and
Play air
over
raid.
5,500
Don't count.
yards.
But he
It
was
always
also playing
counts.
against third graders at corner.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
let's remember that.
So was
Pac-12.
Jordan Love. So was
Exactly.
Jordan Love.
So I really like this kid Jalen Hurts out of OU. I mean, this guy transferred from Alabama. He got benched in that game, but this guy has continued to get better. We got a dual threat quarterback here. We can start to change our scheme a little bit. You know, give Frank Wright a little bit of something to work with, and then we can solve our backup quarterback problem there. I believe he's still pretty young. I'm liking this Hurts kid there.
Yeah, I like Jordan Love.
I like
But
Jalen Hurts.
Hurts is fine.
I like Jalen Hurts back in 2020.
Yeah, I did as well. I think that Jordan Love kid, I think he was trash.
Yeah, same.
What about you, Damien? You the tiebreaker, man.
Guys, there's only one logical answer here, and that's Jalen Hurts.
Wait, you making sure you going off of college, right? Not
Yeah,
NFL.
college.
I mean, how could you not? How could you not look at the only thing that would make you go, is watching him get beat by LSU 72-10 his last college game. But I mean, if
we're going off college, Jordan Love wasn't trash in college, bro.
Yes, he was.
True.
Yes,
not
he
his
was.
junior-
He
his-
was-
His
was
senior
the
year was
truth in
terrible.
college.
I mean,
Hold on.
when I say
Hold on. His senior year was terrible. His junior year was only good because his
You could
his
argue
team,
the Levis argument with
hold
Jordan
on.
Love, though.
His team was fucking stacked.
I can't argue that. So was Levis's team at Kentucky.
And then and then
well,
all
we're not
of his
talking about
players,
2023.
hold on. And then all of Jordan Love's players left, and he was trash. And literally, if you looked at it like this, we had no one in Indy.
If you want to make the Levis argument in this selection that we got in front of us right here, Jacob Eason is the carbon copy. Strong arm quarterback, transfer from Georgia. Will Levis transfer from Penn State.
Got
Sneaky
beat out by
athletic.
Jake Fromm.
You see what I mean here? And if we're looking at the physical stature and skill set, Jacob Eason is a Will Levis in front of us. But we want the athleticism, so let's take Jalen Hurts. My
If we're
opinion.
going athletic, absolutely. But if we're going based off college,
No,
Jordan Love was just as good as any of these guys in college.
No, he
Yeah,
wasn't.
I'm going-
No, he
I'm
wasn't.
going
Not
off-
on the tape.
I'm
The
going
tape was
off-
terrible.
I'm going off of the NFL game today is changing. And from what I
Right.
saw from Jalen Hurts from his last year in Alabama, where he ended up getting benched in the national championship game, didn't flinch and came back out the next year and went to a different school, and a guy still came out and put up a Heisman type year.
And was a better passer? Absolutely. 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think this kid shows resilience
Yeah.
that'll last long in the NFL.
Yeah. Hurts is a pick.
I think that's me.
Could you imagine drafting Jalen Hurts and JT in the same draft? Gosh.
Oh,
he's still there. No, deny that shit and take Jonathan.
Hold on, though.
Hold on.
We
We
might
only
still
moving
be
back-
able to
yeah.
get Jonathan.
We only moving back 11 picks, and we get a
Oof.
third, and we get 2 fourth-round picks. What's the chat thinking, man? I might consider taking this.
See who's available at running back. Is JK still on the board? I think he is. Because JK is rated higher than John
I can't check.
No,
I can't
no,
check.
Hell no. J.K. Dobbins was.
Hold on, we got more offers.
He was rated higher out of the draft, dude. He was.
That's a trash trade.
Yeah, no, but I didn't.
The best
I'm on
trade
the
is
same-
Baltimore.
DeMarco,
like
I'm on the
JK
same page.
better.
I'm on the same page as you, but out of college, I know you remember that game. Because
Yeah, decline this because Jonathan Taylor is the best player on the board.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan
with
Love's
it.
still there, but
But
Jonathan
look, hey, but if we do bring Chris Ballard back in, look, let's act like Ursay. Hey, Chris, come back in here.
Go
Look at
get
these
your
picks.
guy.
Look at these picks we just got offered. We get 4 picks right here. to
Yeah,
move
but we're
back
only going to
up.
Yeah,
use
but
two
two
of them.
two of them are next year.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
only get to use 2 of them.
Oh,
'Cause
that
there's-
was next year. Oh, yeah, I'm tripping.
I mean, go get the guy. Go get the guy that Ballard loved.
this year.
Go get the guy that Ballard loved.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get the
yeah. 'Cause go for
JT.
next year. We gotta reject this, and
I
I
mean,
like
yeah.
that Taylor kid.
If we're looking at the dichotomy of a guy,
We're 100%.
Yeah, it's
Jonathan
JT or nobody.
Lavicia Cano ain't
Oh,
bad.
we didn't get MPJ.
Oh,
MPJ's off the
fuck.
board.
My guy's gone.
Mm.
Oh, he's still there.
don't you like how Damon Arnett was still there and that guy got taken top 10?
Oh,
Dang.
Nah,
dude,
I'm
they keep
rejecting.
calling them trades.
6 trade offers.
Why they keep trying to give us booty ass offers, man? What the hell is this?
They're gonna get worse. Hold on.
Trying to trade us?
Oh, hold
next
on.
year?
that's not bad.
We'll go
This
back to
one's
the
not bad right here.
That's not
This
bad.
one's not bad.
We get
Take
third
that.
and fourth.
Take that.
We only moved
Take
back.
that.
We only moving back 2 picks. Take that.
Take that.
100%.
Oh, he's still there. Give me Bryce Hall from.
So you wanted to
Virginia.
reject this one. Hold on.
Wait. You like Bryce?
I loved Bryce coming out of Virginia.
Oh,
I loved him. Press corner. I thought he was going to be so
Oh.
good.
I think if we're in eyes Chris Ballard here, though, we're taking probably someone like Cole Kmet right here.
wait. Who's
Yeah.
our corners this year? Who it was? Kenny Moore.
Hey,
Did we let-
What do
Tier
receivers
go
look
yet?
like?
Hey, we gotta look at these traits first, bro. Like,
Nah, because they're both moving back 20 picks. Let's stay where we're at. I mean, my opinion, but
Yeah, no.
oh, the Falcons got a good deal right there. No,
No,
go back
because
to
we only get a 7th rounder out of it.
yeah, I
yeah,
just
but that's
rejected
still an extra pick.
I already rejected it because you told me no.
What do receivers look like?
Oh, look, we got Jonathan Bernard sitting there at edge rusher.
Oh
Oh,
my
Jonathan
gosh.
Peoples
I
Jones.
love
Devin
Brian
Duvernay.
Edwards. I
Devin
love
Duvernay was a
Brian
monster.
Edwards out of South Carolina. I love Brian Edwards. Donovan People Jones sitting there too.
Tyler
Hey,
Johnson.
I wasn't that high on Duvernay. I liked his game, but I didn't really see it translating.
Peoples
greatly
Jones
to the
in
NFL.
Michigan was the truth.
He
But
is.
People Jones and Brian Edwards. I like
Tyler
those guys.
Tyler Johnson in Minnesota is a dog too.
Tyler Johnson is the Ballard pick right here, 100%. Possessing receiver, had the best contested catch rate out of the draft that year. That's who he would have took, 100%.
Who?
Tyler Johnson.
Tyler
out of-
Johnson from
out of
Minnesota.
Minnesota. And he plays for, help me out, Buccaneers, right? Yeah.
They can use them.
Jordan Kibbe said also that Baltimore's GM needs to be fired for offering all those picks just to swap two spots. Oh man, yeah.
Is there more receivers? Scroll down. Is there more?
Yeah.
James Prochet, a beast, by the way.
Hey, Gabriel.
Hey, there's your
Ooh,
boy
Isaiah
Gabriel Davis.
Hodgins, and Davis sitting there.
Oh, there's Quintez Cephas. I thought he was going to be so good.
Oh, Quez Watkins was down there. Mooney.
Desmond Patman, our 6th-round guy.
Oh, KJ Osborne.
Marquez Callaway.
Oh,
You
shoot.
don't want to take him right now. It's a 347.
I understand, but he's the truth.
Hey, it'd be like Ballard taking Shaq, the worst pick in the NFL history.
Oh, EJ Speed out of a D2 in the 3rd round.
I like my guy Brian Edwards, man. I really like.
Any of these wide receivers I'm happy with except for the kid from UK. I mean, you can pick any of these in my opinion, and I'm happy.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I didn't see too much of him at all. Peoples Jones or Brian Edwards for me.
Either one I'm happy with. I don't care. Either one.
Let's go.
You didn't like my guy Brian Jordan?
All right. Well, Jordan breaks it. All right, we're gonna go Peoples Jones.
Peoples Jones was the truth in Michigan. Dude, damn. Bryce Hall went.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking the same thing.
Damn. Jordan Brooks just went. Damn.
You know, it would have been smart for us to check corner as well because
That's not a bad one.
This isn't a bad one at all.
Yeah.
That's 2 spots.
Oh, there's another one. That one's what was that?
You move back 2 spots.
That's 4. Wait, is that 32 or 22?
That one is 32.
32. I would take this one.
I would do that one, the Jets one.
Do we all agree?
Yep.
Let's do it.
We can take that.
Okay.
Oh my
my God. 4th, 5th, 7th, 7th.
Bro,
and
who
the
is the
2021
Vikings GM? It's like he don't even want picks, bro. He done tried to trade every pick he done had in his draft.
Guys, we're about to have Quez Watkins, Gabriel Davis, and KJ Osborne as receivers.
Yo. Like,
What do y'all want to do?
I want to decline because the guy I really like is up on the board.
Tyler.
It's tough to say no and yes because it's like how many times do 7th-round picks actually work out?
Right.
And then it's like that's a lot of picks to say no to.
If we're trying to be realistic here, it's possible either. I agree. We probably decline this here
Yeah. I decline that there and let's see what we can do.
because we're going to end up getting some.
We got back
Absolutely.
picks right here.
Absolutely, Jordan. Give me Logan Wilson from Wyoming. Dude's a dog for Cincinnati.
All right, I'm declining this one too.
Oh, that's a good one, though, from Philly, though.
Nah, we moved up 26 picks.
Yeah.
I mean, and we get our EJ Speed here with Logan Wilson.
Yeah, Logan Wilson's a fit. That's
Let's
the
check
next
our
year.
need. What's our edge rusher looking like?
Edge.
Mm,
Alex Highsmith.
He was cool, but I wouldn't.
There's Tavian Gibson. He was nice. Bryce Hall from Memphis. He's nice.
Nah.
Hey, you see our boy
Gordon
Glasgow?
Glasgow. Check out corner real quick, Matt. What we got there at corner? 'Cause I know these are some of our
L'Jarius Sneed.
Oh,
who's
L'Jarius Sneed.
that boy ended up being a beast.
Damn, Lamar Jackson played corner in college too. That boy was everywhere. Went from Louisville to Northwestern.
L'Jarius
Nebraska,
Sneed
you scrub.
I mean, Nebraska. Oh shit.
L'Jarius Sneed's nice. That Michael Odemuji or whatever the hell his name is, he's not. I don't know how he got drafted coming out of Iowa, but I'm a Big Ten guy, and like I can tell you about most of these Big Ten guys.
Iowa product.
Yeah, I still say go with Logan Wilson. Nope.
I would.
Your guy's still there.
Oh, Brian Edwards still sitting there. Wow. I would say Zach has conviction on this pick. I'd say take him, and Brian Edwards should be there 2 picks from now when we go again.
All right.
Oh, Miami? No. I mean, that's only, 14 picks?
I mean, by this point, Ballard had pretty much reloaded the roster, so I really don't see us wasting our picks on a bunch of guys that are just going to be practice squad dudes.
Tyler starts for Dallas, doesn't he?
Yeah, Glasdale's a starting center in the league. And your boy Brian Edwards is still there. We could double dip a receiver if we wanted to again.
Yep. Especially since we missed out on Pittman. I'd do it.
Yeah.
When I said do it, I meant keep that Pittman. Oh, that's not bad there from Philly. Those 4th round picks next year, though. Keep trying to give us shit from next year. Nobody wants worry about next year. What do these guys do? Look at the Vikings, dude. Who is the Vikings? This is why this guy got fired.
Y'all know who works. Y'all know who works in that front office, right?
Man,
Jerry Jones out us offering us.
Y'all know
crap.
who works in that Minnesota front office, right?
dude said, "Hey, you can have every pick you want."
Ryan
bro.
Grigson. Yeah.
Yep.
We're going Edwards.
I go center. I go Tyler.
I mean, Tyler's a
No,
nice.
we already had. No, we got Ryan Kelly playing Pro Bowl level right now.
Right. Yeah. Right. Ryan Kelly's still all pro. I would go Brian Edwards.
Brian Edwards.
You double dip and get 2 physical receivers.
That was the year we didn't have a problem with guard, Jordan.
Albert Ebukam, he's solid.
Yeah, I remember him being nice.
Yeah, Ebukam was nice.
Oh, the Niners offering a trade, huh?
10 spots back for the Jags pick isn't terrible.
That's the only one that's not terrible.
I'm not doing that Jags trade just because it's within the division.
Yeah, me either.
Facts. All right. Nope. No, y'all fuck off.
I wouldn't mind Alex Highsmith here.
Neither would I. Yeah. Highsmith.
Pass rusher. Hey, Ben Brandonson was pretty nice too here, playing guard.
Hey, is P. Ryan any good at Florida?
No, he wasn't as good as his brother.
He was good. I mean, I wasn't like terribly high on him, but I think he was good for Cincinnati when he originally came out. But I think he was solid.
Well, that's Samaje's brother, right? I think LaMichael's a little bit more athletic than Samaje.
Yeah, he was a smaller guy. It's more of a scat back.
Ooh, Samaje was a monster at Oklahoma.
Yeah, Highsmith is a pick in my opinion.
Who's there at safety? Because we were thin at safety this year, weren't we?
Blackman was in this draft.
We were really. Yeah, I don't even know any of these guys. Oh my goodness. Ooh.
Antoine Brooks.
Antoine Brooks right there, Jr.
Yeah, Antoine Brooks Jr. He's not.
He was nice
bad.
out of Maryland.
There's Tanner Muse. He's not awful.
Did somebody really already draft?
No, Cameron Curl. Scroll down. Cameron Curl, Arkansas, starting safety, right there. Dude is nice. He starts for Washington.
Looks like Jordan and Zach got conviction on this one. I'm not opposed.
Cameron Curl, he's legit.
I'm not opposed either, but man, Blackman would have went. They said top 20 if he wouldn't have got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He was highly rated.
Michael just went. Isaiah Hodgins just came off the board.
Jack Driscoll. Marcus Bailey was a bum. Okay. There's Rigo. You want to pick kicker?
Rigo. Nah, we got him undrafted.
L'Jarius Sneed's still there. That's my pick.
Yeah, I'd take Sneed here.
I don't know about you, Zach. I know he didn't pan out very well, but Quarterman
was a dog.
Beast.
Yeah. He's a
Crazy
dog
athletic.
at Miami, but he shit the bed with the Jaguars.
Yeah, I'm going L'Jarius Sneed. That instant impact.
Mm-hmm. Late round pick.
No.
Hell no.
Joe Bashy.
Are we picking again already?
Quadri. Yeah. Isaiah Collier's not terrible.
What's our need left?
Got tired.
We
That'd be
doubled
tight
down
end,
on the
right?
receiver already. We got cornerback.
What's?
Because we had Jack Doyle and Mo this season. I think that was just about it.
Yeah, Cameron
What do we got? What's left at tight end?
So
What's left at tight end?
Because we ended up saying Trey Burton that year.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, tight end's trash. Dalton
Jacob
Lee.
Breeland wasn't bad in Oregon. He could block his ass off.
Breeland and Pinky, they're really the only two that I remember watching.
Pinckney was ass at Vanderbilt, but that's Vanderbilt. Like, everyone's trash should go to Vandy.
I don't know if I see anything worth.
I wouldn't. What's running back looking like? It's a late round flyer pick. Just to look at it, unless there's interior defensive lineman.
James
Robinson's sitting right there.
Yeah.
Scroll down though. I do want to see who else is possibly available because you know how running back ends up.
There's DJ Dallas.
Another monster at Miami.
Hell no! Give me James Robinson, man. He was I don't even know how dude went undrafted.
Yeah, that's backfield's
Gosh,
disgusting.
could you imagine
Our backfield
JT?
That's disgusting.
We still have who else
We
do
got
we
one more
have?
pick.
We still have Marlon Mack at that time too.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yep, he tore the ACL.
Yeah, but he got hurt. Yeah,
Week
he got
one.
hurt.
So imagine having JT and James Robinson right there.
His was an Achilles.
Yep.
What's tackle looking like?
Right there.
Not a tackle. Alex Taylor.
AJ Green, the DB. Look at kickers and punters. Sure. 7th round pick. Why not?
Go inside O line. Inside O line. Daryl Williams.
Hey, there's Train Phillips. Isn't he not a starting guard?
Yeah, he
He's
is.
a stud.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember
Daryl Williams is sitting there too.
Yeah, he's a starting guard for the Giants.
No, for the
Tyler
Chiefs.
Phillips? I think he's on the
I thought he
Giants.
started for the Chiefs. Danny Panther.
Shackelford, my boy from Belton, Texas boy.
Tyler Higbee.
My guy TJ McCoy.
Jack Buchanan. He was a long snapper, I thought.
Buchanan was trash.
You know what's crazy? Matt,
Buchanan was trash.
Matt, you know what's crazy is that this is the draft that we literally started our podcast pretty much based off of right here. Like we're literally 3 years later looking at this and going through guys, and like none of these guys were remotely on our list when we started this off. That's what's crazy to me.
The only player that I wanted that year in the draft, there were two. There was Justin Jefferson. He was on my list, and then
Mine too.
Jalen Hurts. They were the only two that were really like, those were the two I wanted. Anthony Gordon was a guy I was like, I like him, but he's like another Max Duggan. I was like, I like him, but I know he's not a top pick.
Del Pitt was my guy, man.
Hey, Jordan, you caught us out on the Robinson pick, but you doing the same thing with Tyler Bass right here, man. Don't nobody watch no kickers. He said Bass still there though.
Hey, did Matt Gay come out this year? Just draft him because
I think he was 19. I think he was 19.
Who we picking?
I got no.
I would take Bass. Don't take that Justin Rosselweiler or whatever. He's got a swastika tattoo on at some point. He got kicked out of the combine because they thought he was a Nazi.
All right,
So
let's
we're
go
going
Tyler Bass.
Yeah, we go Tyler Bass. Jordan the only one would have picked there. See, I guess none of us work like Chris Ballard on stacking up all these picks because then you get to a point where it's like, who the fuck is it? We got any picks left?
Yeah,
No.
I like to see who's top rated at this point. Like, who's BPA at this point in the draft?
Oh, yeah, that was our last pick.
Sure was.
Our worst pick was Cameron Curl.
Wow.
No. Tells you how wrong drafting is because Cameron Curl's a stud.
And we did really good until the back half of the draft. But I mean,
They were
most of those guys you aren't thinking are going to pan out. Those are guys that you think are going to come in and work hard and to develop and be on special teams. So I think that's a really good draft to come out with a bunch of B's, B pluses. We already pretty much know what JT and Jalen Hurts have become. So I feel like if you end up with 2 A's at the head of that draft, even though they gave us B's, I think that's successful. Very successful. Hell yeah. Fuck with us in the war room.
Hey, don't pick this guy. He's got a swastika tattooed on him.
Hey, that's for real. That's that kid from Marshall, that
Marshall.
Russell dude or whatever his name is.
That's funny. That's funny.
If I get one, they might accept me.
Oh, goddamn, man. DeMarco, goddamn. That's terrible. Don't even say that, man.
I'm joking.
No.
Shit.
No.
Oh, shit.
No.
I'm kidding. Oh, but man, that was a good one. I like that little draft redo. I thought it was interesting to see some of the picks to go where they went. I wish it would kind of went how like I had told you guys something that I did, seeing Herbert go back half of the 20s, in early second round. I thought that was pretty crazy. But damn, man, I wish we could have solved our quarterback problems earlier.
Honestly,
That was the year that I'm pretty sure all of us when we started the podcast were talking about. This is the year for us to do it.
I wasn't here then, but I agree.
This was the year that Matt and I threw a huge fight over first round over the pick because I was all like, we don't have a first round pick. We traded it. Let's go get a left tackle. And you and I
wanted a corner.
About it.
I wanted a corner.
You were dead set on a corner, and I was like, get a left tackle. Casando's got like 3 years left max.
And it didn't even last that long.
That was awkward because it was just me. It was just us three in there, and it got quiet for about 30 seconds.
I thought Rob was there.
I don't think at that point.
Rob was there too. Yeah,
he just got real awkward.
I think it was all of us actually. I think Andy and Trev and Rob were all there, and everybody was just quiet.
Because I came on as a guest and thought I wasn't going to be allowed back on. That was my first time on the podcast.
And then we invited him to be permanent.
Because I literally told Matt he was clueless and didn't have a clue what he was talking about. And he was all like, what do you mean? And then it got vicious. And I was all like, I don't think I'm going to be allowed back on. And then.
See, I think that's the best part about when me and Matt get into it because we just fucking slide right to the next conversation like nothing ever happened.
You guys fight, and I'm all like, man, this is awkward. Like
the only reason I wasn't replying back immediately yesterday is because I was working on this unit and it was pissing me off, so I couldn't keep going back and fucking
get extra mad.
Yeah, I was like, this motherfucking unit, and then I'm sitting there arguing with that. I'm like, this motherfucker. Oh shit. So I don't know. I never try and take anything personal. And just always keep it in the context of football and just knowing that nobody's ever going to fully agree.
I will say this, Zach. Both of us were wrong.
Yeah, I'm thankful 100% because if it went one way or another, I'm sure, 3 years later, they'd still hang that over my head. Hey, you asshat, we took a corner.
I knew we did take a few corners since then. We took a left tackle way later.
Yeah. Is that the year we took Rock?
Oh.
I think we did take
Rock. We traded.
No.
Was this the year we traded? We had the second round pick, or we traded for the pick, and we thought we were going to get Montez Sweat, and we traded back?
I think
No,
we already had
took
Rock.
Rock.
We took Rock 2019.
Yeah, we already had Rock.
Oh. Fair enough. Okay.
Or maybe was it corner that I was arguing, or was it wide receiver? I can't remember. It was something about skill position.
Receiver. It was 100% receiver.
Yeah, I think it was something with skill position. I was like, we need weapons.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you who the receivers were at the time. Like
We didn't
Ty
have-
and
with Ty.
then
That
no
was
one
it.
else.
We had Ty.
I was still pretty pissed off that we didn't take DK.
Oh, this is Paris Campbell draft?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
yeah, it
2019.
is.
2019.
Oh, but him and I went at it in the 2020,
Yeah.
like for the 2020 draft.
Oh.
Yeah.
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 So
The
different.
2020 draft was the year we took Michael Pittman and then JT.
I thought you guys started. I thought you shifted the conversation to the year before
No.
when
No, we started-
should've went receiver, or
we-
when we went receiver, but not with.
I think we started right when COVID hit, so it was
Yeah.
like April. It was right before the draft of 2020.
Did anybody cough on the camera and somebody else jump?
No, no, and it was funny because we were all admins. I think it was me, Damon. I think Damon was an admin,
Mhm.
but it was me, Damon, Rob, Trev, and this other guy, Jeffrey. We all were admins, and
Here's your boy.
I went and did a podcast with From the Couch. They invited me on because they wanted to talk to AFC South, so they brought me on as the Colts guy. And then I was like, you know what? Let's start our own podcast. And then boom, there it was. it started. And I think we brought Andy on as a guest, and then we brought Zach on as a guest, and we kept both of them.
Sure.
Yeah, good times. Good times.
Yeah.
No Jeffrey talks. PTSD.
Oh man.
That dude got me blocked from so much bullshit.
But I guess yeah, it's that weird part of the season. it's back to that weird part of the season, you know, where we went crazy at draft stuff and off season, and now it's just kind of the waiting game because we've
Are
already.
you guys still looking for any signings? I know Damon, you were talking about it the other day where you were getting kind of antsy over this draft stuff, and I kind of told you just calm down. You know, we still waiting for the draft.
Yeah,
Is there anything you guys are still looking forward to in free agency wise?
I want to see us pick a corner, dude like Rock, or a corner of some sort. Just I don't care if it's a vet of any kind. I don't care if it's a younger vet who's been in the league like 3 years and is a fringe starter, or a guy like Rock who we traded away and brought back. Other than that, I'd also possibly hopefully the Colts could bring back Yannick, because I think if they brought back Yannick on top of the addition of Ibukam, then for the first time in a long time, the Colts have 4 quality edge rushers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Ballard can, finally get off the kick of we need inside into pressure. We need pressure. We need pressure. No, you've addressed it.
Well,
you got 2 dogs at D tackle. I definitely wouldn't mind a legit third or professors.
And we're young. We'll be young at that position. And that's why I told you I was like, for the first time in a long time, without a quarterback on our team, I feel like receivers, we're good there. I think DB, whether that be safety, because I don't think we brought McLeod back. So I think
maybe the
is he
expectation
retired?
there is that no, he said he was on Good Morning Football. He said he's looking to play for a contender. They didn't really ask him too many questions about Indy, so I don't know exactly what.
Moving on. Okay.
But to answer you, Damon, I think the expectation is that Nick Cross is ready to jump in and take over.
Yeah, he was raw. I think that was the only argument I had was he was raw. He probably should have stayed another year because remember he got drafted like 20 years old.
He got drafted at 19.
Like a Tyler Hero situation.
He turned 20 during the season.
Yeah, turned 20 during the season. Yep.
So I think he needed to be.
I agree, Jordan. I was literally off my rocker the day we signed Isaiah because I legitimately was like, anytime I have some kind of hope that we'll sign a player, we never sign that guy that I want. So the fact that we actually signed the guy that I wanted, I thought that kind of sent me off there.
My
I wish
only
we
co-
could have McCole, but I know McCole was sold on playing with a veteran QB.
do you really think that he's going to make that much of a difference?
To answer
Absolutely.
Chad's question, we are currently sitting at 20 mil.
Yeah,
Yeah,
20.4 million, I think.
20.1.
Zach, to be exactly with you, yes, I think it actually does help. You got a veteran receiver in there. You got a guy who's played with Josh Allen, who played in a system where it's kind of run to get open, and some plays where Josh Allen is extending plays, and you got a guy that knows how to get open. It's almost kind of like the T.Y. Hilton situation, where you got a guy that knows how to find the zone, sit in the spot, get open, playing through the slot, and he can even help mentor some of these guys. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like he's gonna come out, have 1,000-yard season, 10 touchdowns or 8 touchdowns, something like that. He should be able to get us a quality 600, 4 or 5 touchdowns, and I think that's something that's very effective in this room for a rookie. So
I wouldn't be mad at that.
I'm not sitting there acting like he's supposed to go off for us, but I just think it's one of those things where if we look back at our receiver room the past since Chris Ballard has become our GM, we've always said, "Hey, dude, get us a receiver." And I think this is one of those signings that legit say he tried to get us a receiver. That's what I get that.
Fair enough. Give me Will Levis or give me Def. Fair enough. Fair enough. Easy, but okay. Okay, Matt.
I'm just here to get under DeMarco's skin.
Oh no, that's what I tried to tell you, man. When you said my pennies was in a bunch, man. I'm not mad at Will, man. I would prefer Will over what we had last year in a heartbeat. My thing was, I just hate when we can only either like even the fans just on Twitter, and I just see it all day versus what everybody talks about. It's either with Will Levis, it's either his big arm or it's excuses. I want us to talk about this guy as a quarterback. There is more than just big arm, and everybody left him. Like as far as we know he played through injury. This guy is tough. This guy wants to go out and ball, but like I gotta see more. And it's just those things where people just keep making excuses for him, or just keep saying, "Wow, his arm tap." Like we've seen that shit before.
Yeah.
Look, I'll say this.
Just
I'll say this: the throw I was talking about, Will Levis threw from his own 25 all the way to the 7. That was airtime.
Yeah, see, I'm not. I mean, that's great. I mean, it's just like I just don't want us to look at that and think that is the last
Right.
thing we need to see to think.
But-
yes, he's going to work in the NFL.
But you're not going to see anything else until the
But
day
have
he
we-
steps
I
foot on
know,
the field.
I know. It's tough to say we can't see anything, but it just goes back to my memory of like just like the NFL. What have you done for me now? What have you done lately? And the last thing I seen from this guy is he did not play well. And so, yes, I trust Steichen in our system, and I think that he can develop if we develop him properly to form into a quarterback. Like I said, that can be that ceiling of a more mobile Matthew Stafford, or could be as bad as Zach Wilson. I think he could hit that high end tier, which is why I'm like, if we do go quarterback, I'm okay with one of these guys. But I just don't want fans to just get stuck with the idea of either big arm or everybody was hurt, and that's why he didn't have success and whatnot.
I like that you brought up his athleticism too, because I think it's a really underrated aspect of his game. That dude's hurdling dudes, spinning out of things, mowing guys over. He's the strongest. I think outside of Anthony Richardson, who's like a walking muscle. He's probably one of the strongest QBs in the draft. Levis. But Jordan, that Zach Wilson throw, I know that gets referenced a lot in these pro days, but that's a throw that they now do for everybody in these pro days. It's called the broken play. And it's pretty much just you avoiding pressure and showing your arm on the run, just what you have in you and what you have capable of doing. Every pro quarterback does that now in every throw day. And he says, these big throws don't impress me because how often are you really throwing all those crazy throws? And like I said, that's the purpose of that play. Like you saw Cam Newton do it the other day at that Auburn pro day. It's just an example of their arm strength whenever they're under pressure and the ball moving away from their body. Every quarterback does that in every pro day.
And that's exactly why me and Matt were talking about the Bryce Young throw, because he looked really uncomfortable throwing that because he doesn't have the biggest, strongest arm to flick it up the wrist. But just like Jordan said here, those big throws don't impress me, because how often are you really throwing all those throws and crazy throws like that? For me, it's who can make the simple routes. And so it's like it goes back to that point that I was making about simple things with Will Levis that nobody ever talks about. It's always just he has a big arm, or he was playing hurt and nobody was around him. And that's where it really just breaks in me. It's like you can't have those be the only questions or answers you have about a quarterback. And then a guy like Mel Kiper be like, "This is my guy, Will Levis." Like, it's like we gotta find some context in here, because when you talk about any other quarterback in this draft, you have more than just two things. Am I wrong? Can anybody tell me am I wrong?
I'm clicking with you. I'm agreeing.
So that's just my thing there, and that's why if we get Will Levis, I want him to work. I really do. I really do.
I think
I will be ready to buy his jersey the moment he shows me some legit flashes. But just those things, I just can't have just two situations. Like, there's got to be more.
I think Will Levis ends up going 2. I read an article where about like Houston was having meetings with Will Levis.
Somebody said that in the comments
Jordan.
here earlier.
Jordan was talking about
they
it.
said they were having sneaky meetings.
Yeah, the Houston was having like quiet meetings with Will Levis during his pro day, and then even before and after the draft, the combine and stuff like that. So it wouldn't shock me, because ideally I think that's a situation. He essentially played in that same offense in Kentucky. And so I think that translates. But yeah, I read, see, Jordan, you posted it. Yeah, that.
Real quick here, Jordan said, "Did you guys see a scenario I posted earlier from some reports?"
That's the one he's talking about.
That's the one he's talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I did not see that. So if one of you guys can tag me in that when you get a chance, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I read it. I read it earlier this week, and I was all like, "Yo, that would be huge." Houston takes Will at 2. So then I think, if that happens, then I definitely encourage Ballard to trade up to 3, because I don't want a team like Vegas at 7 or a team like Tampa at 19 trading all the way up to 3, getting a guy like Young or Richardson.
From all the reports that I've heard, not my bad for cutting you off, but I just want to say that I believe Las Vegas has sold on the 2 more mobile guys from all the reports that I've seen.
I mean, I know Vegas has Jimmy G, but I also don't trust the fact that they won't move up and get a mobile guy like a quarterback who's available, like Bryce Young and or Richardson, because that's something that they would do. So if that's the case where Will Levis goes 2, then I certainly hope Indianapolis implores, "Hey, Arizona, you guys want a center and like a couple picks, and we'll move up to 3 and take who we can, who's ever available."
Yeah, that's
Peter. I'm going Peter.
Oh, goodness. Skoronski.
I mean, Skoronski is solid. I just don't think he's the best tackle in this draft. That Paris Johnson kid from Ohio State, and maybe I'm partial.
Did you see how they almost had him tear his ACL this pro day?
Yeah.
Fucking stupid drill.
Like, maybe I'm just impartial, but like Ohio State tackles are pretty much a sure thing in the NFL. Like, literally a sure thing. And I think Paris Johnson is, I mean, I know Orlando Pace went number 1 overall, but I think he has that type of impact on the next team he goes to. He's a true franchise tackle. That's why I have that Paris Johnson Jr. kid as the best tackle in the draft. And I think Skoronski, even though he's gigantic, I don't think his arms are long enough. So I believe he grades over to being a guard. I mean, in my opinion, he is Braden Smith. Braden Smith is better suited to play guard. Skoronski's just more athletic, but short arms.
All right. All right.
Wouldn't argue against that. I still want a quarterback at 4 personally.
Yeah, same. I think everybody's on the same page.
My blood
All right.
pressure will be off the charts if we don't take a quarterback at 4.
We're gonna go ahead and close shop tonight, guys. It's a good episode. It was good fun to see that we could have solved all these issues 3 years ago, even with still trading for DeForest Buckner. So it's always fun having everybody out. It's always fun seeing all the comments and having everybody on the show at once. Trev did have to leave. He had some personal issues going on with a car. So appreciate everybody coming out. Zach, it was good to see you and your no hair. Damon, it's always good to see you.
Yeah.
DeMarco,
My bald head.
your bald head.
I got my hair cut after 2 weeks, man. No.
Hey. But yeah, man, we'll be back next week. We're going to talk about whatever segment we're going to bring you next week. I think we've already started discussing some things. We're going to bring you some fun, all right?
Absolutely.
Go Colts.
Always go Colts.
We keeping JT, baby.
He is going to drop the throw. Fires deep along the right sideline for Alec Pierce. He's got it. Touchdown! Touchdown! Alec Pierce spikes it into the end zone. Touchdown! INDY. A 32-yard grab over the shoulder snag.